Today we're going to be talking about Kleos and if it can apply to women. But first of all, what is Kleos? Kleos is one of the most significant epithets of the Homeric poems, particularly the Iliad. It can be translated as fame or glory. However, this definition doesn't account for its key underlying idea. Kleos is the concept that you will become immortal through legend and myth because of your heroism and power.
Achilles is the obvious figure that we think of when we talk about Kleos. In Book 9, when Achilles is contemplating returning home to his beloved father, Peleus, his very justification for staying in Troy and fighting, acknowledging that he will lose his life, is that he will win eternal glory. In the Iliad, he says, "If I hold out here and I lay siege to Troy, my journey home is gone, but my glory never dies. If I voyage back to the fatherland I love, my pride, my glory dies."
When we begin to look at Kleos in relation to women, it becomes a bit more complicated. We first chose to look at Penelope, the daughter of Icarius of Sparta and the nymph of Peribea, wife of hero Odysseus. Penelope is said to have dolos. It literally translates as deception. However, from our research, it is also used as a concept that one can achieve, similar almost to Kleos. This quote is demonstrative of Penelope's dolos, essentially her deception and trickery. However, in her case, this is not a negative thing. Paradoxically, dolos is used to achieve Kleos in the Odyssey. Penelope uses her dolos to deceive the suitors that approach her by creating a challenge for them to become her husband that she knows only Odysseus can do. So here she is using trickery to remain faithful and loyal. Arguably, if Kleos is essentially being remembered, she is remembered for this dolos. So in a sense, she has achieved Kleos. However, is this the same as the Kleos that is stereotypically achieved on the battlefield as a result of victory? She faces challenges equal to that of a hero, such as her husband. She is threatened and exposed without a protector, yet through this remains loyal and even receives an honour in a sense from her husband, a king, when he is dressed as a beggar, affirming her Kleos. Clytemnestra and Penelope act as striking contrasts of women who both use dolos, but don't necessarily both receive Kleos. Whilst Penelope uses this trickery to preserve her undying fidelity to her husband, Clytemnestra conducts plans to kill her husband.
Medea is a woman of divine descent and had a gift of prophecy. She's best known for helping Jason, the leader of the Argonauts, to obtain the golden fleece from her father, King Aeetes of Colchis. In Euripides' Medea, she's depicted as a woman of extreme behaviour and extreme emotion. For her passionate love for Jason, she sacrificed all and committed unspeakable acts on his behalf. For example, she kills her brother to delay her father so her and Jason can escape. Jason's betrayal of Medea sends her violent passion into rage, and she becomes set on destruction. When Jason deserts Medea for the daughter of King Creon of Corinth, Medea murders her own children as well as Creon and his daughter. While she demonstrates great bravery, she is not made to be liked. In some ways, she can be seen as a villain, due to the brutal murder of her family. However, she does display heroism by standing up for herself in a world where women are expected to be seen and not heard. In Euripides' Medea, she says, "Honour is coming to the female sex. Slander will no longer injure women. And I believe that she should be given glory for advocating equality for women." Next, we take a look at Penthesilea, a queen of the Amazons during the years of the Trojan War, who were a legendary race of warrior women. After Achilles killed Hector, Penthesilea and the Amazons rode to the rescue of the Trojans. She is said to have fearlessly blazed through the Greek ranks while killing their soldiers. Virgil describes her as the ferocious Penthesilea. Gold belt fastened beneath her exposed breast leads her to battle lines of Amazons with their crescent-light shields, a warrioress, a maiden who dares to fight with men. Usually the heroines of Greek mythology are remembered for their thoughtfulness, fidelity, and modesty, such as Penelope or Andromache, while the daring and headstrong personalities generally go to the antagonists, like Medea, Clytemnestra, or Hera. But Penthesilea is something else entirely. She is a woman who meets men on her own terms, as their equal. Perhaps this is why Virgil does not give her the standard heroine epithet of beautiful. For him, it is her majesty and obvious power that makes her notable, not her looks. Whilst Penthesilea was never credited with Kleos, I certainly think that she deserved it, and this was the case for many women of that time.
The general criteria for women to be remembered and officially given fame was to be faithful and useful to their husbands, as can be seen with Penelope, whereas men earned Kleos for themselves through heroic deeds mainly in battle. These differing expectations seem to be the reason why women were not deemed to have Kleos, as even Penthesilea, who had great success in the battlefield that could be compared to the achievements of men, was still not recognised and remembered to that same extent. Overall, we believe Kleos is a very male-centric term, and that women who came close to achieving it were remembered mostly as a result of the loyalty to their husband.